Hey everyone, I'm Alyssa, an Indianapolis Colts cheerleader for the 2024 season, and this is Believe in Colts.
Welcome back to another edition of Believe in Colts. I'm Lawrence Owen, and today we are going to go over the preview of Week 4 of the 2025 NFL season. The Indianapolis Colts head to LA, SoFi Stadium, and face the Rams. Boy, oh boy, we have a lot to cover in this one because, wow, what a matchup. Easily the toughest matchup of the year for your Indianapolis Colts. And, man, I've been bouncing left and right all week on my thoughts on this team. I have dug into stats. I have watched game film, all 3 games, the coaches film, everything that I can on the Rams to see where they're at. And I got to tell you, this team is going to be tough. I mean, it's going to live up to the billing. The 4 o'clock matchup is going to be a heck of a matchup to watch. Now, obviously, the matchup of the week is not that, right? You're looking at the Ravens and the Chiefs. I believe that comes up this week, so most people are going to want to see that. But the Rams and Colts. Right now, the Rams 2-1, the Colts 3-0. The resurgence of, well, I don't even know if you can call it a resurgence of Daniel Jones, because Indiana Jones looks better than any version of the New York Giants Daniel Jones that you could possibly pull up. Even his playoff appearance, Daniel Jones, does not look like the Daniel Jones that is playing right now in Indianapolis. And this offense for the Colts has just been outstanding. Defense has been adequate. And you know what? A lot of Colts fans was looking for adequate quarterback play. You know, I mean, that's just all there was to it. That's all Indianapolis Colts fans, after the last few years of this quarterback carousel, all we wanted is someone somewhere between 10 and 20, of quarterback play. That's what we were wanting, because we said, you know what, if we can get someone between 10 and 20 of quarterback play, we got a playoff team. Not just a playoff team, we're going to be fighting for the division every year because we got an adequate defense. Now, we have an adequate defense overall. And a lot of that comes down to Lou Anarumo and his mad scientist portrayal here on the team. But we've gotten way better than adequate quarterback play from Daniel Jones. It's like everybody's feeding off everybody else. The Colts are now 3-0. They have one of the best offenses in football, and it's just ridiculous. Let me put some advanced stats out for you that would shock you a little bit when it comes to Daniel Jones. Pressure percentage. Daniel Jones has had, my goodness, plenty of pass attempts, right? He's only had 10.3 bad pass percentage. That means 1 out of every 10 passes is a bad pass. And you think, well, that's not very good. That is amazing. That is flat out amazing in quarterback standards. Drop percentage. 3.4 drop percentage for the Indianapolis Colts. That is also an amazing stat. That's not all on receivers. It has a lot to do with the quarterback delivering a catchable football, right? And we've seen a lot of drops by the Indianapolis Colts receivers over the last few years. The only thing that's changed is the fact that we have a different quarterback delivering that football. That's just amazing. You figure that he's only been sacked twice. That's stupid. That's a stupid 3 games. 2 times in 3 games. That's less than a sack a game. I'm okay with that. I'll take that. All day, every year, twice on Sundays, guys. And then, of course, you got guys like Jonathan Taylor, who leads the league in yards, scrimmage yards, all of that. And receivers that have just been outstanding, right? Now, none of them lead the league in targets or receptions or yards after catch or touchdowns or anything of that nature, because Daniel Jones is just delivering to whoever happens to be open at the time. Okay? Because Daniel Jones is playing quarterback properly. I mean, our highest targeted guy is the rookie tight end, Tyler Warren, 21 targets. He's got 14 catches, almost 200 yards. Okay? Michael Pittman is number 2 with 19 targets, 16 catches. It's the same amount of yards, 193 yards. Josh Downs has 14 targets. Alec Pierce has 13 targets. Then you got Jonathan Taylor with 8, A.D. Mitchell 4, Mo Cox 2, and DJ Giddens 1. The one thing that's going to hurt this Colts team offensively is if Alec Pierce don't play, and it don't look like that he will. It's still a slim possibility that he will, but let's just count out the fact that let's just say Alec Pierce does not play this game. And Alec Pierce plays a pivotal role in this offense by stretching a defense. Because when you're able to run the ball as well as you can, as well as the Colts have, you need somebody to open up the middle of the field, keep a safety out of the box. In order to keep those short and intermediate passes a little more open, you need a guy like Alec Pierce to keep the safety out of the middle of the field. So not having Alec Pierce in the lineup could hurt this Colts offense more than just the, 171 yards on 9 receptions that he's had this year. Which, again, 171 yards on 9 receptions. That's ridiculous. That's yards before catch, 17.8. Now, that's not leading the NFL, but wow. What I want to get over to is quarterback rating when targeted. Michael Pittman has given, when Daniel Jones targets Michael Pittman, it's a 144 quarterback rating, passer rating. When he targets Tyler Warren, it's a 95.9. Josh Downs, 90.5. Alec Pierce, 111.9. Jonathan Taylor, 146.8. What? All the guys on this team is giving our quarterback, Daniel Jones, a higher passer rating than what our regular passer rating has been for quarterbacks the last few years. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, and let's not leave the offensive line out. Obviously, the offensive line does its job by opening holes for the running game and picking up an amazing amount of blitzes, right? An absolute ridiculous amount of blitzes. Look, Daniel Jones in 3 games has been blitzed 40 times. 40 times in 3 games. That's ridiculous. But that's okay. That's all right. Because the offensive line has been picking them up. According to Pro Football Reference, Daniel Jones has only been pressured on 14.3% of his dropbacks. 14 pressures total on over 100 passes so far this year. That's pretty impressive. All right. So, what I do want to talk about now is the Rams, because I've watched these Rams, and what we have at Jonathan Taylor on the ground, they have at receiver, okay? Because Puka Nacua has just been lighting it up. There hasn't been a game that I think he's had less than 100 yards receiving all year. He's got 133 yards, or 333 yards in 3 games. leads the NFL. 29 catches, leads the NFL. He gives his quarterback, Matt Stafford, a 106.3 passer rating whenever he freaking targets him. That's unreal. Whereas Devontae Adams, now a lot of people, look, Devontae's getting yards too, 213 yards on 13 receptions. But he's only given him a 78.7 passer rating when targeted. Whereas the running back is giving a 122 passer rating. Tight end Davis Allen, what? 4 targets, 3 catches, 24 yards. That's 129 passer rating. Not big. Tyler Higbee has 6 targets, 4 receptions, but he's only got an 83.3. Those are 2 guys we got to keep an eye on. Okay. I'm a little worried about the passing game with the Rams because obviously Matt Stafford is no joke. He is a very good franchise quarterback in the NFL, and they've got a good passing game. And their running game ain't bad either, right? The running game ain't bad, and that kind of hurts because our rush defense has been up and down all year. They average about 4 yards a carry as a team between Kyron Williams and Blake Corum. Occasionally you'll get some end arounds or jet sweeps from Puka. And dude's got 52 yards on jet sweeps. That's just, come on. Three runs, 52 yards. Nah. Now, granted, one of those yards is the majority of those jet sweeps, but still, that's nasty. That's nasty. I do want to talk about Matt Stafford because so far this year, he has not been the best. Remember where I talked about pressure percentage and on-target percentage, bad throw percentages for Daniel Jones? Well, almost double bad throw percentages from Daniel Jones to Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford has a 19.1 bad throw percentage. He's been pressured 21% of the time on his dropbacks. Okay. He's got some interceptions right now. He's still a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong on that. Still an absolute stud when it comes to being a quarterback. But he has been getting pressured and he has been getting bad passes out there. And I want to continue that. And this defense, the defensive line, it's going to be hard to get pressure on him because Matt Stafford's time to throw has been so low. He's got one of the lowest time to throws from point of snap to the time he releases in the NFL. It's tough to get sacks on him. You got to get pressures. And I know a lot of you Colts fans out there are talking about we're not getting enough sacks, we're not landing home. Sure, we're getting pressures, but we're not getting to the quarterback. I don't expect that to change this week. Granted, last week we got 4 sacks, but that was against Cam Ward, right? Cam Ward's been sacked at least 4 times every game this year. Matt Stafford, on the other hand, we got to get him to throw the ball before he's ready because he's a guy who's going to look and find an open guy and throw the football to him. And he has no problem standing in that pocket and wanting to throw downfield, all right, when he needs to. So we got to get pressure on him. We got to get pressure on him. We don't have to hit him every time. We don't have to sack him every time. But we need to make him throw that ball before he's ready. Because what that'll do is lead to bad passes, which will continue that 19.1 bad throw percentage that he has so far on the season. That's 1 in 5, not 1 in 10 like Daniel Jones. That's 1 in 5. That will help out the Indianapolis Colts dramatically. But I don't know if we're going to be able to, being that, again, we're not going to have Kenny Moore. Now, we did go out and we signed Mike Hilton, former Bengal, to take his place. Don't know if he's going to play this week. Probably will, because Hilton knows Lou Anarumo's system very, very well. The only difference is he hasn't practiced and he doesn't know the guys around him. So he's got to learn to trust these guys around him. Is 3 practices going to be enough to get him to start? I don't know. But we're going to find out. With that being said, he's probably going to be on Puka Nacua if he does play. And Mooney Ward will probably be on Devontae Adams, because Adams is an outside receiver and a bigger receiver. And that's who Ward is going to be on. I feel like Ward right now is at his peak of his career. And Devontae is at the end of his career. I think Ward could get the better of this matchup. Puka Nacua scares the holy daylights out of me, however. And so does the run game. When you average 4.1 yards a carry, their offensive line's been doing fine. And our run defense at times, like I said, have been kind of, So that worries me quite a bit. Absolutely worries me. Let's go to defense. Because, guys, defensively, the Rams are legit. Defensively, the Rams are legit. They don't miss tackles. They have a 1.6 missed tackle percentage as a team. 3 missed tackles on the whole team through 3 games. That's 1 missed tackle a game. The Colts have been living off yak yards. Yards after contact. Yards after catch. The Rams don't do that. They have 12 sacks on the year. What? Byron Young has 4 of those sacks. Jared Verse has 2 of those sacks. Half their sacks are 2 guys, okay? We got to do something about that. All right, we got to stop Byron Young. We got to stop Jared Verse. Can we? I don't know. We got a good offensive line. Now, granted, we have injuries across, our offensive line. We got a guy right now who's walking around in a boot. Is he going to play? I don't know. I'm going to assume it is. It's a toe injury. He may play. He may not play. I don't know. We'll see. Again, you gotta when someone's not practicing on the field on a listed injury, you got to assume no until the Friday injury report comes out and clears them or not. The thing I think the Indianapolis Colts can do is what I'm going to do on this. The 2 things that I think that both these teams have to focus on in this game. For the Rams offensively, they got to be able to run the football. If they could run the football, that's going to open up the middle of the field for Puka Nacua and other receivers. So the Colts are going to have to be very careful, stop the run. Okay? It just is what it is. Because if they can stop the run, that will help them then focus down and do what they need to do against this offense, because you want you don't want Matthew Stafford back there being able to just chuck the ball all day. All right, and if you stop the run, that means that on 3rd downs, you're able to go after him. Makes it easier to get after him on 3rd downs and harder for them to get those 3rd and long situations. So that is what the Colts need to do defensively to stop the Rams. All right. And the Rams need to do is they need to run the football. As for the Colts, you would think it's the same thing since they got Jonathan Taylor and all. No. Look, the Rams are only giving up something like 2.9 yards per carry. I'm not saying that you can't run on the Rams. Absolutely don't go one-dimensional. However, this game is going to come down to the passing game for the Colts. The Colts, I feel like, are going to have a heck of a day passing the football and go at the weakness of this team. Their strength is their run defense, their front seven. The secondary is their weakness. You can absolutely pass the ball against this team. The offensive line needs to hold up against this very good front seven to help Daniel Jones release the football. One of the best, most accurate passers in the NFL right now. And some things that I want to see from the Colts is outside screens, because I think that would help a ton, especially running back. Whether you're getting the running back out on flat routes or if you're running, flat screens to the running back. I think you do that a couple times, you probably have a chance to make a big play, which, of course, will then open up the middle of the field a little bit because you're pushing their safeties and corners and linebackers outside the hash marks rather than down the gut. All right? That's another way to do that if you're missing Alec Pierce. Who they're going to put in Alec Pierce's place, is it going to be A.D. Mitchell? I don't know. Is it going to be number 14? I don't know. I think we'll probably see a mixture between the two. Okay? And if we do, that's fine. But we got to still be able to take shots downfield to soften up the inside, the underneath. I feel like this is a day that Daniel Jones is going to need to have a 300 to 350 yard passing day to win this game. If Jonathan, I don't see Jonathan Taylor getting over 70 yards rushing in this game. He could have over 50 yards receiving, but I don't see him having over 70 yards rushing. And I love me some Jonathan Taylor, but I see where the strength in this defense lies. And with the Colts being as balanced and as good as they are offensively, I feel like this is a day where you could lean a little bit more on the quarterback and the passing game, even with a receiver out. Now, we're going to talk about score prediction. I've been flip-flopping on this all week, like I said at the beginning of the show. Flip-flopping all week. I'm going to come down to a very high-scoring game. I think it's going to be a 31-28 game. And I think it's going to be won by a field goal by someone in the last moment. And it's a coin flip. Okay? I think either team can win this game. I think it's equal. Look, the Rams are a blocked kick away from being 3-0 themselves against the Eagles last week. All right. And the Colts, let's face it, are one leverage penalty away from being 2-1. Okay. Now, if you take the other teams that they play, because, okay, the Eagles are a good team, Broncos supposedly a good team. You take the other teams that both these teams have played, they're both garbage. Okay. The Colts played, everybody's like, well, the Colts have played Miami and the Titans. Yeah, and blew both of them out. The Rams, have played the Texans and the Titans. So the teams they played ain't much better or even better than the teams that the Colts have played. Outside, obviously you're going to take the Eagles over the Broncos because they're slightly better, but supposedly both top 10 teams. And right now I don't know, man. $31-28 is my prediction for this. I'm hoping for a Colts win. I just don't know if the Colts are going to pull it out. It's a 50-50 coin flip, like I said. Definitely can't wait to watch this 4 o'clock game Sunday. won't you do me a favor? If you're watching this on YouTube, please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time I go live or upload a video. Leave a comment. Tell me what your score predictions are and what you think either team should do in order to secure a victory. If you're listening to this on an audio podcast, rate this and, let me know. Tell me what you think about the podcast. We would really appreciate a rate and review. I think that's going to do it for this show, though. So I'm definitely going to say I'm nervous about this game as a Colts fan. As an NFL fan, I'm excited to watch this game because I think it's going to be a lot of fireworks. I think it's going to be back and forth. Who's going to make the big plays? Who's going to end up giving away turnovers? There you have it. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. This was Believe in Colts. And as usual, go Colts.
Do you believe?